Okay, today we will start with Borderlands 4, which is apparently very hard to run, apparently based on what people say, and apparently based on what I've tested. We are going to start actually at 4K, so we're going to do some 4K and 1440p testing, but we'll start with 4K. And we are actually on medium preset, and with just balance scaling, no frame gen. If you see any tearing, it is just the game capture, don't worry about that. Just the way that it is. I do external game capture, it doesn't like G-Sync or anything like that, so... And you can see here, I mean, again, 4K. I'll just quickly show you guys. 4K, see, 4K there. And medium presets, balance scaling, no frame gen. So there's going to be a lot of cases where this GPU is actually capable of 4K. Usually you're not looking at, 4K max presets or anything like that. That's just not realistic for a GPU of this class. But there is going to be many cases where you're going to be totally fine with 4K, kind of medium, a little bit of scaling here and there. You could turn the setting up, turn a little bit more scaling up. You could turn these settings down. But I mean, for 4K, I'm usually pretty happy with like a medium type thing. Not very far in this game, but this is significantly harder to run area this outdoor than later. I actually do want to play this game, so I don't want to get too far in like benchmarky type stuff, but let's get a little bit of action here. You really just gonna let me shoot you and fly away? Alright. Okay. So I mean, we have a very powerful CPU, and it's not going to be CPU bound by any means at this resolution. The GPU is doing well as well. Having that extra bit of VRAM, we can see up here in the top, 8.6 gigabytes, and we have 12 to work with. So this is one of the areas that is going to set it apart from the 5070, for example. 5070 does, I mean, it's still decent. It's 30%, 20 to 30% slower, and has less VRAM. So it's kind of a trade-off of you increase the settings or what. I'm going to drop it down to balance because you might be able to hear the fan noise. Balance will drop down the wattages a fair bit, but I think we're still going to be doing pretty well. I'm out of bullets. Yeah, so significantly quieter. We'll do a little bit of different modes here, but I mean, even on balanced mode. So what we'll do here is we'll come down and we'll go to 1440p rather than 4K. Again, this GPU is going to be comfortable in a lot of cases at 4K with reasonable settings. I mean, you're not going to be cranking them in every single game, but you're going to be able to get by reasonably well. There you go. So 1440p. We're going to put it back up to performance mode. You can see it flicker on the screen there. We'll try we can try medium. We're going to get a lot of frames now. We can play with the settings, but right. So we can see here medium 1440p is just going to fly. And it is an FPS, but it's not a competitive FPS. So a lot of the time you're going to be fine with, I would be happy with, honestly, like 50, 60. That's kind of where I want to be at. So let's turn it up. We'll go high now. Same scaling. We don't really need to turn off scaling that much. Build the new shaders here for high. We're still going to be well above 60 here. You can potentially turn down the scaling or just turn up the settings more. I'm usually pretty happy to just throw on balanced scaling these days. It looks so good. And then play with the settings from there. Try to keep myself above 60. Reload. Hot dog bullets. Okay, let's turn it up by one more because we're just really not struggling here. There should be a pretty big jump going up to very high. And I think we'll be close. Yeah, there you go. So that's where you're at. So you're at 1440p very high with just a touch of scaling. You can use frame gen. Once you're at 60, frame gen is, I mean, you can if you want. It's going to be fine. I don't use frame gen unless I have a good base frame rate though. Like I won't use it at all unless I'm at least at 45. Usually I like 50 or so. So because we're here, right, we can probably crank it up even higher. So I don't normally do a lot of frame gen, but I'm happy to test it after showing it without, essentially. So now we have frame gen on. There should be a pretty big jump here. Give it a sec for the algo to kick in. Here we go, right? And because our base rate was 100, or sorry, 60, going over 100 is fine. Like I don't feel any input latency because our base frame rate was so high. I would not be doing this if it was like, oh, the frame rate's 25. Let's frame gen it up to 40 or something. That would be horrible. Bolt card, level 2. I have no idea what that is because I'm not far in this game. I'm just going to end up being like the highest level possible just from benchmarking in this area. Nice. Okay, so it's fine. Let's go back. And I think that's the trick. I mean, Borderlands 4 is going to fly. 1440p or 4K, you're going to be good to go here. So, okay, here we are in Dying Light, the Beast. I am not far in this game. I literally just bought it. So let's go easy on me when I don't know what I'm doing. So we'll go 4K. We were on the medium presets with balanced scaling. Okay, so let's see. It ran very well indoors, by the way, but yeah, this looks good. A 4K 60 outdoor experience. Again, I don't know if the game gets much harder to run, but usually outdoor areas are where things are the hardest, so. Let's click down to balance mode just for a sec here. Yeah, not bad. Almost 60 on balance mode. And again, most of the time I'd probably play like this. Just quiet. Especially for 4K, it's running very well. Let's go back up though. Yeah, very good, honestly. Let's try, yeah, I mean, it's running well. Ran well that whole intro. It was like 120 FPS, that indoor area. But let's go down to 1440p. Maybe we can turn the settings up a bit. So we'll come here and we'll go down 1440p. Okay. And what we'll do now is we'll actually turn it up. So we can come here. Let's go high quality. So a little bit higher settings. Yeah, a little bit higher settings, but 1440p. It's about the same. So you can do 1440p. You can do 4K medium at about the same settings as 1440p high. That's not bad. I feel like this game you would want to have good fidelity. Like you could, I guess, lower the resolution. Lower the settings at this resolution and get more frames, but I'd be probably pretty happy with 60. It is actiony, but it's not competitive actiony. So let's just continue on for a bit. The controls are weird in this game. They're like different than every other game. Incoming zombie violence, if you're squeamish. Ooh, a shovel. Hey. Shovel time. You got any like food in here? Any Nuka-Cola or iguana bits or whatever they're called? Man, that looks really nice. Yeah, so it's going to run very well. Let's go down to balance one more time. See if we can get... Yeah, I mean, even on balanced, you're looking at about a 60. Even with this huge draw distance here. I do want to try silent now, so we're going to go back down to silent. We are going to have to lower the settings a little bit, but I mean, maybe not actually. Maybe try medium. It's running very well. But silent mode can be really nice. Like you just basically get, like it's so quiet. I play a lot of games on balanced and even so. Whoa. That's a huge jump in performance. Okay, so clearly balanced, clearly medium versus high in this game is like massive. A gigantic difference. When I put it up to high, it basically halved the frame rate. So there's a big, some games, you know, there's different steps. There's a huge step between high and medium, just so you know. Because we're on silent now. Like look at the GPUs, we're at 74 watts. CPU at 16. We're at 90 watts combined and we're at 88. This is... I mean, I'm going to be honest, this is probably how I would play. Nothing like a creepy monastery during a zombie apocalypse. Is that like a zombie ping? What did that do? Am I detecting zombies? Zombs? Zombie, zombie, zombie. I don't know what that does. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, there's going to be areas probably that run better, run the worst, but yeah, this is running really quite well, to be honest. Okay, so now we're into Cyberpunk. We're at 4K medium with balanced scaling. We're going to have no problems here at 4K with this kind of scaling. That's running way better than I thought, actually. Let's just double check. Okay, yeah, 4K. 4K balanced. 4K medium with balanced scaling, no frame gen. Yeah, it's just gonna fly. GPU is obviously just, you know, it's cranking out here. CPU more than up to the task. I mean, honestly, 4K 1440p, it's a very powerful CPU. 4K is nothing for the CPU, so. And even in a demanding title like this, if you have a good CPU, it'll fly. But the 5070 Ti, I mean, it's a good GPU, right? Very good GPU. Easy high frame rates here, well above 60. Lows are great too. Let's drop down to balance mode on this laptop. We'll see what we can get here when we drop off a ton of watts off the GPU. So here is balance mode, and even on balance mode, I mean, look at the GPU's way down to like 90-ish. We dropped off like 30 or 40, even 45 watts off of the GPU. That's a ton. That's like a 30 to 35% decrease in wattages, and we're still getting easy over 60 in those areas. Here, actually, to be honest, it's probably the CPU that's going to be more like, oh, I want more watts. But now this is going to offload actually quite a bit onto the GPU or onto the CPU, but it won't be an issue because we have a powerful CPU. So we can actually turn it up. So we're actually going to go up now. We're going to go high, probably all the way up to ultra. So we'll go ultra 1440p. Do the same amount of scaling. I always use scaling. We can do native as well, just to see. But see, and there you go. Ultra, no frame gen, with just balanced scaling, and on run balance mode. Remember too, and we're at 90. Sorry, we're at 80 FPS at only 90 watts on the GPU. So, and it's so quiet. This is a lot of the time having these laptops have such good balance mode goes a long way, because it's just, you can barely hear the laptop over the game. You might hear it on the mic because it'll pick up the microphone. It'll pick up the fans more than anything. So now we're up to performance mode. I increased the wattages. We can see we're up to 130 watts now, and huge jump in performance. Right now we're doing very well. Look at all these NPCs too. That's a tough scene right there. Now let's come in here and we're going to turn off the scaling, which will be a big drop in performance, just so you know. It is going to be pretty massive. All right, we lost 20 frames, but this is 1440p ultra native. 1440p ultra native, no frame gen. All right, this is tough. This is very tough, and the system is up for it. Right, 5070 Ti, no problem. It's not a 1080p GPU. You can. It's a 1440p GPU, meaning it's, what I mean by that is it's capable of doing 4K native gaming. Sorry, 1440p native gaming. You can do 4K with some scaling, but you're doing 1440p most of the time, native. You can add scaling if you want, but you don't have to. Okay, now we're in Doom the Dark Ages. We're at 4K. I'll just show you. We're at 4K presets here. A 4K resolution. We're at medium preset. A little bit of scaling. And again, this is 4K, so we can up the settings as we go in lower resolutions, but I'm going to be pretty happy with around 60 here at 4K. Good lows too, holy smokes. 64 average, 53 lows. It might drop down, but I mean, that's pretty impressive. That's like almost rock solid, just 60 gameplay. I'd basically consider that. Let's look at the CPU, it's not doing anything. Such a GPU heavy scenario here. Yeah, there we go. There, that brought it down to 50. Still good though. I was expecting it to tank during that. I don't remember how to throw my shield. How do I do it? How do you throw the shield? It's been so long. Okay, there we go. Could not remember. Anyways, 4K is running well. Let's drop down. Yeah, no problems, 4K. Just reasonable settings, right? A lot of the time it's going to be, yeah, it runs at 4K. Just don't absolutely crank everything to max. So we're at 1440p now, and we'll go, we can try the scaling to start, but we're going to be able to turn this way up. So let's go up to Nightmare now, which will be pretty tough, to be honest. So now we're up to 1440p Nightmare. Oh, that's a huge jump in performance. Holy smokes, I did not expect that. I mean, we did decrease resolution, but we also massively cranked the settings. Jeez. Like I said, this thing's going to sync. I mean, let's just turn off scaling. I would have no problems using scaling, right? Just zero problems using it. Let's just turn it off. See what we get here. See what we can get with a native Nightmare scenario. Yeah, wow, okay. So Nightmare, 1440p native. No frame gen, no scaling, nothing. This is what the GPU can do at 1440p. Watch this. Okay, here comes the chaos. Very good. Anyways, very good. Okay, here's a really hard to run game, and that is Final Fantasy Rebirth. Yeah, I mean the 5070 is the 5070, right? 5070 Ti, sorry. It's a good GPU. So now just 66% scaling. We can probably get by with native, actually, if we're going to get this many frames. Yeah, this is running really well. This is a very tough area. You will get some pop-in, like there'll probably be like a drop-down here and there as we get texture streaming, but maybe not. Yeah, there's a little bit of a drop there. Again, look at the VRAM usage, 10.5 gigabytes. This game is a prime example of, you turn the settings up and you really start to heat up the VRAM there. And that's even with that like horrible traversal stutter that you get when you run through this area the first time. We'll do a backtrack here and you'll see it shouldn't be nearly as bad. Yeah, we're not going to get those like 11. That's just the first time pop-in type thing. Look at that performance though. Wow. Let's put down to like quiet or balance or something. I don't know. Quiet mode maybe? And then we'll turn it, geez, look at that performance. We'll put it to native. That's really good. That's 4K with it's maxed out. The only thing that's on is 66% DLSS. So it's not even cranked. And we're on silent. So it's clear that this GPU does perform quite well at lower wattages. Yeah, like 1440p native max is where this thing's going to sing. Again, at 4K, this GPU is proving its mettle at 4K with scaling or lowered settings. Like you can go medium type stuff, or you can, you know, turn it up and put on some scaling, and you're pretty much laughing. At 1440p, most of the time it looks like we're just maxing everything out and just native. It's got a lot of power. Let's go like this. Down to balanced, see if we can get 60. Yeah, look at that. That's much lower on the GPU. Let's let that kind of pop in. We'll go back. Very good. Okay, let's go to a battle scene. We'll just go back a little bit. Okay, so we'll do a little bit of 1440p native outdoors here, battle. I would just use a little bit of scaling. You don't need it, but it really does make a huge difference. And you can't tell that it's on when you're at 1440p with just a little bit. If you were at 1080p and you were cranking it, okay, sure, but we're maxing the game engine here, right? 120. The lows aren't going to be 120, but we're maxing out the average. The game engine cannot go above 120. And you'll get huge drops, by the way, in combat. It's just the way this thing is. I mean, we're maxing the game engine on average, right? And then, yeah, pretty close. There we go. So we're actually sitting, we're not quite at 120. So we're probably sitting around 120 depending on the area. It's very good. With just the tiniest bit of scaling. You could turn it off if you want, but you might as well leave it on. And there's nothing to the lows. It doesn't matter what GPU I tested on. That's just the game engine. I've tested this thing on like 4090 desktop, and it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's just the way the game engine is, but very good. Very, very, very good.